I call on order of the day for the address in reply debate.
Interrupted debate on the address in reply and the amendment proposed thereto.
When this matter was last being debated in the House, Sir William CO was speaking and has 20 seconds remaining should he wish to speak. Jami-Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, what a great day it is to be part of the National-led government in this House. What a great day it is to be a member of this National-led government, because in about 15 minutes' time, this House will be expressing confidence in this government to continue working for New Zealanders for the next 3 years. And this House will be expressing that confidence because the voters of New Zealand expressed confidence in this government after the hard work of the past 6 years, after 6 years of delivering for New Zealanders, after 6 years of doing what we said we'd do, and after 6 years of focusing on the issues that matter for New Zealanders. And Mr Speaker, when the public went to the polls on the 20th of September, they looked at the people on the list for the National Party, they looked at the fine members of our caucus, all 60 of them, and they decided that they are fit to govern this country. And when they went to the polls and looked at the opposition, they decided that it was a bunch of parties that couldn't work together, couldn't agree with each other, didn't support their leaders, kept focusing on the negative issues that New Zealanders did not care about, and their failed policies and their failed leadership was resoundingly rejected. And Mr Speaker, this party actually focuses on positive matters. It's all fine and well for the opposition to say they care about positive things, but actually, Mr Speaker, you can't say you're going to focus on positive issues on day one and then forget about it for the rest of the election campaign. Mr Speaker, we have had 6 years of delivering for New Zealanders. That's why we're sitting over this side of the House, and I'm proud to be part of this party. Mr Speaker, I sat through many of the maiden speeches that were delivered in this chamber, and I have to say I was incredibly impressed by the calibre, by the top quality candidates that we have on this side of the House. Mr Speaker, 14 MPs from various backgrounds representing New Zealand, the diversity, the knowledge, the integrity, the huge skill that they bring to this House. I'm proud to be standing alongside them. When you sit here at question time and you look up at the government benches on the backbench, you see a party that is focusing on renewal, you'll see a party that is focused on diversity, you'll see a party that has brought through huge talent into this parliament. And Mr Speaker, when you sit here and look at the other side of the House, you see the same old faces with the same old failed policies, with the same old negativity that they brought during the election campaign. Listening to question time this week, you wouldn't have thought, Mr Speaker, that we actually had an election, because exactly the same issues that New Zealanders rejected only a couple of months ago. They're still talking about them. They haven't learnt the lessons. They're still talking about their failed odd policies that New Zealanders rejected. And Mr Speaker, this party is delivering strong, stable government for New Zealanders. That's why we were re-elected. Mr Speaker, we have a Prime Minister who is a strong leader, who has led this country through some difficult times in the past 6 years. But we're coming out of it looking pretty good as a country. We're coming out of it as a country that's more confident, as a country that's achieving more for New Zealanders living in this country. And Mr Speaker, New Zealanders know that, the voters know that. New Zealanders want to see an economy that's growing. Under the leadership of Bill English as the Minister of Finance, we are delivering a growing economy for New Zealanders. 83,000 jobs in the past year, growth at 3.9%, one of the fastest growing economies in the OECD. Mr Speaker, that is what New Zealanders care about the most, and Mr Speaker, we are delivering for them on the economy. We also care very much about the housing situation in this country. The opposition like to characterise it as us not caring, but Mr Speaker, we're delivering the policies, we're delivering the legislation that will lead to more affordable housing in this country. We need more houses to be built in Auckland. That's what Minister Nick Smith has been delivering in the past few years. Mr Speaker, we're also focusing on getting more people into housing. The opposition think the only way that government can help on housing is to own the housing. Mr Speaker, we're actually focused on the people that will be in those houses, not necessarily owning them. And under the leadership of Paula Bennett, with Nick Smith and Bill English, I'm confident that housing will improve for New Zealanders in this country. When it comes to law and order, New Zealanders know that we are safer in this country because of the hard work of the past 6 years. Crime rates are down. Crime is at a 35-year low. Reoffending is down. We're going to be putting more effort into rehabilitation in our prisons, more effort into getting working prisons. That is achieving for New Zealanders, Mr Speaker. And no amount of squawking from the newer member, Mr Peroni, on the back will help, because, Mr Speaker, we are delivering for New Zealanders in this area. Mr Speaker, on education, I think we have 60 members on this side of the House that were very proud to see policies being promoted in the election campaign that will lift the achievement levels for all Kiwi kids. We are seeing better achievement levels being delivered, but we have to get better quality teaching. Mr Speaker, the Labour Party only cares about what the unions want. We care what the parents of New Zealand want for their children. New Zealand's parents want a better quality education system so their children can achieve at higher levels. That's what we'll be delivering for New Zealanders, Mr Speaker. When it comes to the health system, 40,000 more elective surgeries being delivered for New Zealanders means that better public services are being delivered to the people on the ground. And Mr Speaker, under the health system, more Kiwi kids are going to get the health care they need, more Kiwi kids are getting access to GPs, more Kiwi kids are getting immunised, and Mr Speaker, as a parent in this country, I'm proud to see that we're delivering on health policies that New Zealanders deserve. And when we look at the Canterbury situation, one of the regions in this country that really delivered at the election for the National Party was Canterbury. And why was that? Because the effort, the hard work, the investment that we're putting into Canterbury shows that this government cares about the people of Canterbury. They've been through some incredibly tough times. The opposition, again, just focuses on the negative. We focus on the investment. We focus on getting more apprentices there. We focus on getting more housing going. We focus on getting more building happening in Canterbury. And Mr Speaker, Canterbury is working for New Zealanders as well. I'm incredibly proud to be a member of this National-led government. I'm proud that we have a Prime Minister who's working hard for New Zealanders every single day. We're part of a government that is delivering for New Zealanders every single day. And Mr Speaker, the National-led government looks forward to working for New Zealanders for another 3 years. When we look at the opposition, if I can give them some advice, stop worrying about the leadership, stop worrying about the infighting, focus on what the issues are that matter to New Zealanders. That's the economy, it's law and order, it's health, it's education, and Mr Speaker, it's a novel idea, but it actually works. It's a novel idea, but it actually works. Because when New Zealanders wake up in the morning, they care whether they have a job to go to. They care whether they can put food on the table for New Zealanders. They care whether their kids have an education system that's working for them. They care whether they have a health system that will deliver for their children, and they want to know that they have a home that they can live in and a home that's affordable. Mr Speaker, we are delivering for New Zealanders. That's why John Key is the Prime Minister again for another 3 years, and I look forward to working with these fine individuals for the next 3 years.
Tim McIndoe.
Mr Speaker, there are just 8 minutes left of the 1140 allocated for this address and reply debate, and I have counted every one of them. Sir, the motion that was so ably moved and seconded by Chris Bishop and Barbara Kuriger